And boom goes the dynamite. Your speaking business is taking off like a rocket, and you couldn't be more thrilled. You're landing great gigs, you're getting paid for the value that you provide to the audience, and it feels so good. At least that's what you want to happen. Right now, speaking, while you love it and you're passionate about it and there is nothing like being on stage, it can feel a bit like a slog, a bit like a struggle, because you're always wondering, where is the next speaking gig coming from? Or you freak out a little bit because somebody asked your fee and you know you're going to have to go in that negotiation process. So the question is, how do you build that booming speaking business? I'm Dr. Michele Mazur, the CEO of Communication Rebel, helping speakers and entrepreneurs make a bigger impact with their message while building a speaking business on their own terms. And I have been absolutely obsessed with this question of what makes some speakers thrive while others barely survive. And what it is a mindset shift that needs to happen. Because you are not only a speaker, you are also running a business. And successful speakers treat their speaking like a business. So how do you build that business? Well, you build it on 3 pillars that we're going to discuss in this video. So the first pillar to build a booming speaking business is strategy, having a firm strategic foundation to build your business on. And that includes 3 parts. Part number 1 is, how are you going to get paid? Having a path to revenue, whether that's paid speaking or client attracting speeches or a little bit of both, you need to know exactly how people are going to pay you, and you need to set your price as well. The second part of this is being able to answer the question, why should I hire you as a speaker? Because let's face it, there are a lot of speakers out there, and it's not your story or your talent on stage or even your expertise that gets you hired. It's understanding the challenge the audience you want to serve faces and having a unique process to help them solve that challenge. When you know those 2 things, then you can build your speech that your audience wants to hear and people will pay you for. And then the final part of this is your core message, or what I call your big idea. Your big idea is your area of expertise. It positions your speaking, and it also helps people or your audience remember what you do. This is how you get known and become the person to hire on your subject. Now, once you have that firm strategic foundation, it is time to move to pillar number 2, which is creating the right signature talk that is a product that you're going to sell. Now, when someone approaches you for a speaking gig, what you are selling is the speech that you deliver on the stage. And it needs to be the right speech that is built on that strategy. So you have to understand the value so that you have a process to sell it. You can talk about it in a way that makes people go like, oh yeah, I want to hire you. But it also serves another purpose. It is your best marketing tool, because as a speaker, what you want to have happen is to stop pitching for speaking gigs. And instead, if you deliver a remarkable speech on the stage, what you will find is people will want to hire you. You will get inbound requests instead of always pitching. And then the final part is this speech leaves your mark on your industry. It establishes your expertise. So having that speech be remarkable is the keystone to a successful speaking business. So now that you have a firm strategy, you've got the right signature talk that you're going to sell like a product, it is time for pillar number 3, which is getting some sexy speaking systems. I know, systems. Sounds kind of boring, but a great business has a strong foundation of systems underneath it. And I see that you need 3 systems for your speaking business. The first system is a process to sell your speech. So having strategies for how you price, how you negotiate when someone asks you to speak. So how are you going to sell this speech? Second system you need to think about is marketing. All of those pieces, like your speaker's one sheet, your video that you're doing, all of the marketing pieces that build your platform and attract people to become interested in hiring you. And then the final system, and probably the one you want to do first, is a system for researching to find speaking gigs, pitching those speaking gigs, and tracking those opportunities. Because that system is going to drive your sales, it's going to drive your marketing. So having a system to find speaking gigs and track your pitching of those gigs is key to get traction and momentum. Now, with these 3 pillars in place, strategy, the right signature talk, and those sexy speaking systems, you have the foundation to build a business that thrives. And if you're wondering, Michele, what part of this should I be focusing on in my business? I'm so glad you asked, because you can apply for a 30-minute strategy session with me, and we will dive in and create an action plan so you know your exact next step to take to build that successful speaking business, and we'll discuss how I can help you along the way. Remember, your speaking is a business. To be able to do what you love, to spread your message, treat it like a business, and it will fall in place.